is truly a very exciting time. And I think all of us today are looking forward to the future. Well, my personal journey with restaurant business started in 1996 as a supplier to McDonald's, beginning as a supplier to one restaurant. And it was a frightful time. Well, today, we are sitting on, I think, at a point in time where we're ready to break out. We started off our journey in this industry at a point where I think minimum wages were at about 1,000 rupees. And today we are looking at a minimum wage level across the country, a bare minimum industrial wage of about 7,000 to 8,000 rupees. So a real wage rate, and I hope I'm right on that. I'm talking more from a businessman's perspective. And we're very close to reaching the basic wage levels in China. Maybe 2 to 3 years' time, we should be reaching out or catching up with where they are today. So we have to relate to where industry stands in neighboring countries and where we are today. I think we are almost on the verge. We are maybe 2 or 3 years away from a breakout in growth, which all of you are going to experience. And it's going to be a time where it's going to be difficult for people to catch up and get their houses in order. So if we are to look at what our speakers before me have spoken about, think big, act fast, build iconic brands, the time to act is today. And if there's any time wasted, it might be too late later on to build your supply chains, to make sure that products and services are standardized and in order, and businesses remain sustainable and scalable. So from a supplier's perspective, the time to act, it's my belief that it is today. And of course, going beyond restaurant chains, if I have to share some more experiences on what has happened in the last 10 years, which have helped businesses that have grown, and if I compare my experience where people have failed or people have grown, generally people have invested in quality, supply chains, very standard operations, looking at quality from back to front. Well, service is almost as important, or rather more important than the back end. It's the place where restaurants and franchise operations need to make the biggest investments. So while we all come up with great concepts, and we do know that, yes, customers are accepting them and looking forward to some great business successes, most of the times we feel that concepts tend to fail after scaling up a little bit because their supply chains are not in order. So where do you take the decision to move away from a kitchen to a factory? Where do you take the decision to go to a commissary? These are kind of big decisions that restaurants have to take. There are costs involved. And those decisions for this August gathering will have to be taken today or in the next course of the next year or so, because 2 to 3 years' time, believe me, you are heading for a breakout, and you're going to talk about the type of scale and increase, which is going to be really unfathomable. And a little bit that I know about China is that today suppliers are finding it difficult to keep pace with the requirements that the restaurant industry is forcing upon them. So you're talking of a scale-up which is mind-boggling in nature. And we are talking of a population which is 4 times the size of the US. We are catching up fast. The US industry is about 80 times bigger than the Indian restaurant industry. They eat out once in 7 days, one meal in 7 days, once a day. I think Singapore, on the other hand, is astounding. I think it's about 3 meals a day outside, perhaps. So if you're looking at anything, moving up, and some of Naren's data moving in the directions that it ought to as we, get higher minimum wages and as women start working, we are looking at a scale of operations in the next 3 to 5 years, which is going to be mind-boggling. So my request is that coming from a supplier fraternity, please invest in the supply chains. Thank you.